So, a coworker friend of mine had bought a bass tracker boat years ago and used it for a season and then let it sit in his driveway for the last 4 years. Mike and I, my buddy, fishing buddy, we kayak a lot. We decided to offer him a deal and we fix up the boat, get it running if we can use it. And he said great. So ended up buying some tires for the trailer, some Yokohama radial tires from eTrailer.com, $60 a piece roughly. Radial tires, just peace of mind is what I was buying there. Do not want to be changing tires. The tires that were on it, the Bass Tracker's 2009, and they were 10 years old now, and weather cracking, just cheap peace of mind is how I see it. Batteries needed to be replaced, that type of thing. The fuel in the portable fuel tank was bad, smelled like terrible. Cleaned it out, cleaned the main fuel line out, and my thinking was any residual fuel left in the engine, however little, just a little bit of fuel I assume, would just mix with the fresh stuff and it would start no problem. That was my first mistake. The fuel system has approximately a coffee cup in the engine itself. When you think of the fuel filter, the fuel lines, the fuel pump, the reservoir the fuel pump sits in, there was a lot of bad fuel in there, and that was a lesson hard to learn. But I wanted to make a short video just on the basic components that took me hours and hours of research to figure out if you're completely new to Mercury outboard engines. I'm used to working on motorcycles, so I had to learn a lot about Mercury engines. Anyway, let's do it. Basic walk around. This lower unit here is called a transom. This is a transom saver. It simply attaches to the trailer with a bungee cord here, just for transit, so your motor's not bouncing around when you're driving. So we're gonna release the bungee cord, pull the locking mechanism pin. I'm going to, there's a button on the side of the engine right here. I'm going to raise it up just a bit, take the pressure off of the transom saver. And now I can go ahead and lower the engine down. Cover. Took me a while to figure out even how to unlatch the cover. There's the air intake. Cover has a latch here. Pull it off. Set it to the side. My buddy kept asking me, where's the fuel filter, the air filter? Air filter, where's the air filter? Maybe something's wrong with it. Well, it has no air filter. You look up inside there, that is the intake to the throttle body, that brass piece there. Right, so no air filter, just straight in there. I guess it doesn't need it. Your starter is right here. This is, again, the left side of the engine. There's the rest of the boat. This piece took me forever to figure out what it was. It's called officially the water vapor separator. What it really is a place for your fuel pump. The fuel pump, high pressure fuel pump, is right inside this piece. Behind it, up in there, just past the plug, is the pressure regulator. So you have fuel coming in from your fuel tank. Here's main fuel line going up to the engine with a fitting, quick disconnect. Fuel goes way over here. There's your fuel filter, goes into the fuel filter, out of the fuel filter, round to the back of the engine. Right here is your low pressure fuel pump, which then pumps fuel back up to your high pressure, which then sends fuel through here down to your fuel cooler, which simply runs cold water from the lake through it, cools the fuel down before it sends it over here to the right side of the engine with your fuel rail, your fuel injectors. 1, 2, 3, 3-cylinder engine, right? This is the computer that runs the engine. Over here, back to the left side of the engine, you have the spark plugs, your coil packs, 1, 2, 3, your spark plug leads. You have 1 spark plug, 2, and 3. One last thing that stumped me. My buddy had gotten a little drunk and tried to work on the engine, hooked up the batteries wrong, and blew this main fuse. Took me forever to figure out where the main fuse on this engine was. Finally saw a short video about it. There it is. You've got your main fuse and a spare. Regulator rectifier, and there's a lot of other stuff that I didn't have to go into, like all this electrical on the front of the engine. Didn't have to delve into it, but the engine's only 10 years old and very low hours, so that is a basic runaround to your basic components. Your exhaust goes down through the transom and out there. A little bit of exhaust comes out here, I'm not sure why. And you should see, when the boat is running and in the water, a stream of water coming out. If there's not a stream of water coming out, shut the engine down, you've got problems. Whew, what else? That's about it.